Segregated in the mirror. Segregated. It's no fun. Just don't run. Most days I run from the sun. Most days I run from the sun. Most days I run from the sun. Most days I run in the mind of Mars. In the mind of Mars. I cannot run away from you, so I'd rather stay with you. Probably spend a day in this mind of Mars. Don't need a sneaky link.
Really Him Records. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. We got Really Him Records in the building here at Paradox Studios. Tapping in. This wonderful being is about to drop a huge, amazing project March 10th. He has some follow-up events leading up to that, promoting his entire project. So I just want to ask you, Sean, what does therapy mean to you?
I think therapy is cool. I think therapy is necessary. I think therapy is healing. I think therapy is growth. I think therapy is, it helps you find out who you truly are. It helps you find yourself.
What can you say in the sense of how therapy has impacted your project?
The whole project is therapy. This project essentially is about my whole life. And not just even my life, but just I feel like it can serve as a model for the life of like a lot of young niggas, especially when you just graduate high school and you now a man in the real world. You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying, a man or woman in the real world now. When you gotta grow up, you're not a kid no more, right? Yeah, I feel like it's so many things. But specifically the whole project, not just the album portion, but just the whole process of making the magazines, making the clothes, the everything I did. It's all entails that because I'm telling my story through everything I made.
So I got a chance to watch your documentary when you dropped it.
Yeah,
I was excited to watch it.
Nice.
I love how it's it seems like it's placed like it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
so it's like telling the story of your journey. And then I also was blessed to be able to listen to the actual project.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's incredible.
Thank you.
Front to back, up and down, incredible.
Thank you.
You have a massive talent. I can appreciate it a lot because you're telling a very real story that everybody can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you're explaining how the journey goes. You're explaining your personal experience about how the journey goes. And I can appreciate that because there's different parts of the project where you're telling your side of it. You're telling how the outside world has affected you. And then you're also opening up your story about how you're rising above that.
Yeah.
So, I want to start with the one that got me first.
Okay.
Traumatized.
Yeah.
Tell me where Traumatized. What are the origins of Traumatized, and where were you at that time when you created that?
When I wrote it.
Yeah.
Traumatized. Okay, so a long time ago, kind of when I was like 22, or actually before that, 21, right? I kind of just got back from New York. No, I was 20. And I was like 20, 19, 20, finna be 20. And I wrote this song called Garage Room because in Holland, Texas. It's this small redneck country town of like 1,100 people.
Wow.
And I stayed with my grandpa. And I stayed in my aunt's room, which before it was a room, it used to be a garage. And it was just like, it's just this 4 walls. And I would be in there, and I would just switch the room around all day. Like, I got OCD just because I was never really happy. I always need to switch something up. A different poster every day. I just felt like, they say, like, a kid will have his head in the clouds, or like a caged bird. That's how I felt in that room. So I made the song Garage Room.
Because there weren't any windows, huh?
No, it was.
Oh, okay.
It was it's 3. But I just felt like I was so much more than Holland. I was so much more than those 4 walls. Mm-hmm. I was so much more than Holland. You know what I'm saying? I am. So Traumatized is basically an updated version of that song, I would say. But I just needed to speak about the things that I feel like we all deal with. We kind of don't speak about. Mm-hmm. The trauma that comes from our parents. We love our parents, right? But we would be lying if we would sit here and say that they don't pass down traumas to us, because nobody's perfect. So you got to think, you got the 2 young black teens, essentially. 2 black kids trying to
figure it out.
Yeah.
Because there's no manual to it.
Exactly.
Just trying to figure it out.
And they're not even on the same page. And they're trying to raise a child to be able to navigate themselves in this world. So, yeah, I was about to say, my mom and my pops don't really see eye to eye like that. So, like, there's a lot of just traumatizing stuff I went through that I felt a lot of pain for, obviously. A lot of resentment to them at certain points. And that led to, like, creating more trauma of us arguing, yelling, and not seeing eye to eye with my mother, with my father. But it got me to this point where I can speak about it now, and like in song form, I can just speak about it in conversation to where it no longer bothers me or it tears me down. It's something I can say I look back on and it's helped me become a better person.
It built you.
Yes. I
think that's very important because from a therapy standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, our parents don't always know what they're doing, and then they go through a series of things. But like at the beginning, you say how therapy is cool and it's healing and everything else. In a lot of families, no matter what race you are, that was not a thing.
Yeah, hell no.
Like especially for our parents. They're going through something. They say, I need therapy. No, you're not. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just sad. Go outside and play for a little bit.
Or pray about it.
Yeah, but our parents grew up in the era where they weren't always able to be as vocal as we are about how we feel and what we're going through. Mm-hmm. They didn't feel like they had a safe place to put that because they felt like if they couldn't go to their parents, then where could they go with their feelings and what they went through? And so subconsciously they pass on their trauma to their kids. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the trauma that we carry with us does not belong to us. It's things that have been put into our heads as kids. It's things that we've been taught from the society around us. And we take it on as humans. We absorb things. We're sponges. As humans, we're sponges. We don't mean to be, but we're sponges. It's just like learning. Yeah. You sit in the right rooms with certain people, you're going to pick up information. Yeah, that's a fact. So growing up, you're a sponge. And our parents were sponges, but they never had a chance to wring themselves out and release themselves of all that they've went through.
I like how you
put it. It's our time to be the ones, to be the generational curse breakers, to speak up and say, hey, I went through this too.
We're aware of it.
Yeah, we're aware of it. So now we're like, okay, well, shit, now that I'm aware of it, let's change it.
Yeah, because this cycle does not need to continue. This is what's hurting our people. This is what's hurting us.
What made you bold enough to even speak about it? Because we both know that it's a topic that's talked about more now, but a lot of people are not as transparent as you've been with your project about your journey. So what fueled you? Like, what gave you the confidence to be like, I'm going to put this out?
I started making music because I was depressed. I was extremely depressed. I was, I've always felt like I've just had this weird balance of both worlds I was trying to navigate, and it was just so overwhelming for me at the time. And so, like, my father wasn't in my life like that. My mom working all night, all day, all night. So she's not really at the house. I'm at the house, and I'm just in my room, whether that's in Killeen or in Holland. And I had a journal. I had a notepad, you know what I'm saying? And everybody loves music, right? So we just listen to music, and then it's like, So certain pages in my journal will be just me jotting down my feelings. But the more you listen to music, you like, I'm gonna put this in a poetic way. I can make this sound cool. I like this song. This song sounds cool. I wanna do something. You know what I mean? So I'm writing down my feelings, how I truly feel, the pain I'm going through, like as if it's like a diary, right?
Yeah.
And then they just start turning into songs. You know what I mean? And I needed to release it somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
did you know that was the path you were going to take? Did you know that you were going to take a musically inclined path?
I always felt musically inclined.
Okay.
And I always knew I would be like, people would tell me I had this leader spirit or this energy about me, but I was very insecure or very timid. I didn't believe in myself or I didn't trust myself. So I was just like, I would shy away from it. But it's something I wanted. But I still had fear of myself. And I just think nobody would think that was cool. So there was for a minute, I'm writing down my feelings and I'm having these songs that are ultimately probably very depressing or something, just talking about my life. But if I'm in clean and I'm around all the blood niggas I would be around with, we're not talking about that.
Exactly.
We're not doing that.
Exactly.
We're doing the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, something that's probably only going to be more traumatic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that is, I told you when I texted you, I said, man, a couple of songs made my eyes water up because it was so relatable.
Yeah.
I think that this is a very healing project. And I think that's important because we often listen to music. It's a lot going on in the world, in the music world. And yes, we have the drill music, whatever. But we do need more of a sound to tell a story so that people know that somebody in real time is going through the same shit that they're going through.
Hell yeah.
You know, you'll have a poster here and there saying somebody saying that they've battled depression, but to hear somebody pour their experiences out in their music is a really, really notable thing. So I just want to compliment you and say, you know, that's an honorable thing to take the deepest shit you're going through and say, you know, I'm going to put this into the world and share this with the world. Because oftentimes, even if you are creative or you make music or whatever, sometimes you keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
So for you, this is going to be something that not only changes your life because you're the one putting it out, but you're going to change the lives of others. So I want to move on to another song that I have a question about.
Okay.
Where did Ego Death come from? Because that's like a fucking bop. Every time you play it in here or Cam plays it, somebody plays it, like, we in it. Like, we in it. So, and it's dope, but it also makes me think, like, where were you at that time? Like, were you on some, like, I don't give a fuck type shit, and you were just kind of, like, in your lane, just doing whatever? But where did that come from, and how did whatever you were going through at that time transmute into making that sound?
Ego Death is like I said, it's my life.
It sounds exactly what it is. Like the song and the title and the song matches up perfectly. Yeah,
that was something I stressed very much so throughout the process of. I'm gonna get to your question too, but that's something I stressed very much so throughout the whole process of creating the project. I created this whole project with my brother Scotty, who I don't even really speak to anymore, but he was like literally the whole scientist of this whole shit. He helped me orchestrate this shit. You feel me? My brother Lucas Lee, I love to death. A creative by the name Gummy, and then my engineer that I love forever, C Walker.
Okay.
And we would be in the room, and I kind of just wanted to like be like, yo, you know how Kanye had the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy sessions? Everybody was in there. Everybody was focused. We had one goal in mind, and that's, you know what I mean? So,
and your documentary definitely depicts those
moments.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to showcase.
You can see, my favorite part of the documentary is there's a shot of you in the studio, you in it. What I love about you, you don't know this, but when your shoulders be going, I'll be like, looking at like Sean in it. Like, you kind of like look down, and you just be in your zone, and like, there was moments of that captured in your documentary. So that, you know, like, this is not just me making music, it's me making I'm making a statement. Yeah. And I'm showing you that I'm not just making music to tell a story. I'm in love with what I do. I'm in love with my passions. Your entire project that you sent me, all of it, I can hear the passion in your voice. I can hear you overcoming. I can hear when you went through this thing, when you went through probably the worst thing in your life, and then how you overcame that. I think sometimes that's hard for a artist to channel. Oftentimes we can, but sometimes it is hard to like say. Sometimes people want to say, I went through this, and they kind of keep it a little broad. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, I'm okay now. But I feel like you went really, really deep with your project.
You have to. I want to, so to answer your question, And I love that, what you just asked too. I love how you said, I made a statement. I like that. I like to consider myself an architect as opposed to a rapper. I'm an architect, right? So I'm gonna steal that too. I make statements with my art. You feel what I'm saying? But the creation of Ego Death, I just was chilling in my car. My mom's truck that I fucking totaled. I'm so sorry. But I was just chilling in the car, just playing through beats. And I just freestyled. I just heard, I was like, I guess I did that shoulder shit you talking about. I just like, put that shit in, girl. First, but the whole time I'm playing it, that what you hear at the beginning of Ego Death is something that was actually said to me in this
Is it the actual voicemail that was left to you?
Nah, it was redone, but as far as the exact wording that was used, yeah, that's what a girl has told me before, because we were just in a very bad space. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's crazy about that? The part where she said, "You never talk," because sometimes you don't have to. I will say this about you upon meeting you. You command a room. You do. Mm-hmm. You don't command a room because of what you're saying and what you're doing. You have a presence about you. You have an energy about you. It's a very high energy. Mm-hmm. It's a very high vibrational energy. So when you walk in, you command a room already. Mm-hmm. You don't got to say nothing to nobody. And that is incredible, because we always talk about how niggas like gotta do this and be doing the most to be seen. You don't have to do that. As soon as you walk in the room, people see you. Yeah. You know, like people will notice you immediately. And I think that's why the sound that you have is so prevalent, because you didn't have to do the most and be rigging stuff and making your sound is very authentic. It's catered to who you are, and that brings a lot of light to your project. And like I said, it's gonna heal a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Moving forward, I want to ask you about the timeline of the project. Okay. So, was this something that's been ongoing from like this year to another year? I'm not this year, but I'm just saying like it started maybe 2018, then went down, or like was this something that like you had a compilation of things and then you ended up putting it together?
It's definitely been years. I'm 26. It's been my whole life, right? But working on this project, it's been, I would say, the past 3-4 years. And to go back to Ego Death for a second, it's my pride and my ego, right, has been my like driving force. When I was younger, I was very insecure and immature, but there was just deep down part of me that was like, but I can do this though. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that came off as arrogance. So
because people take confidence and they switch it because they're scared of confidence. Yeah. So they automatically put it in the boxes like, oh, this is arrogant. Yeah. But it's not arrogance. It's somebody being confident in their craft and being willing to tell their story or move the way they want to move. Exactly. Because we have to embody ourselves.
It was simply me just going a different way from where everyone was moving in Holland. I wasn't fucking with that shit. Yeah. Everybody out there is a redneck. Mm-hmm. Or racist, or just the complete opposite of me. So I stood strong on what the fuck I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So a lot of that was, a lot of people say that to me to this day. You think you're this, you that, the third. How the fuck you know what I'm thinking? A lot of that should be...
It's perception.
It's projections.
It's projection and perception. So the projection is someone feeling less than themselves. So they see somebody who walks in there confident. Yeah. Their head is up. They know what they're doing. They know where they're going. So they immediately get insecure about it. So now it's like, oh, you this, you that, you arrogant, you conceited, blah, blah. But that is not the aura that you give off. Nah. You are a very confident person, as you should be. You are very talented. Mm-hmm. So you should care. You should wear your crown and have your head up high. Thank you. I do, like I told you before, I appreciate even having the opportunity to listen to your album. Fucking blew me the fuck away. Like when I first came on with Paradox, I was hearing like pieces. Like you would, we listen to 2-3 songs, and then maybe I'll come back in a couple of weeks and then Cam is playing a song, and then I'll come back a couple of weeks later and then you playing, another song that I haven't heard. It's been a fucking amazing experience to like hear your music, even the stuff that like you haven't even dropped yet. But I want to go back to the therapy part. Okay. So the album is very therapeutic because it is literally letting people know, like, it's okay to go through these things. It's okay to fuck up and make mistakes. That's part of the process to get to the level of elevation you're trying to get to. Yeah. You're going to fuck up. You're going to make mistakes.
That's the reason for... I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's the reason for so many car noises or car references throughout the album. I was crashing out, literally and like I guess figuratively. I was just crashing out, like.
But you caught yourself.
Yeah, I was trying to move too, and my mom has always told me that, right? It's just you trying to move too fucking fast, and so a lot of times I would move through arrogance because I'm not gonna let nobody know I'm nervous, right? Or I have any. Nah, nigga, I'm not nervous. I got this shit.
Right. You use it as a tool.
Yeah, it's my fuel for myself. That's what God shit is. It's just you unlocking that ultimate confidence level. Like I'm good. I got this shit. But sometimes I wouldn't have it. Yeah, I'm thinking I have it, and I'm trying to look like I have it. And
is that the origin of where Really Him came from? If it isn't, I would love to know. Like, what is the origin of Really Him? Like,
the origin of Really Him is when I was just reaching just hitting rock bottom at times. Mm-hmm. So in New York, I went to New York when I graduated high school at age 18, and there was a time where I took the train to the city to go put in an application at H&M. I didn't really know how to read this shit. That shit is difficult. I'm not from New York. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was my first time there. I'm 18, fresh out of high school.
Shit, it's difficult when you're an adult. Cause I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't know how to fucking read that shit. So I got lost, and I ain't had bread like that. So I'm trying to take the train. I just know I need to get back to Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. I need to get back to Rockaway Ave. That's why that song is called Rockaway Ave.
Okay.
Yeah, I stayed on 68 Rockaway Avenue. Shout out to my pops. But I take the train. That shit take me further and further away. I end up in like Chinatown looking area. Damn. My phone go from 20% to 11%. I'm texting my dad that I'm scared. I don't think I'm gonna make it home. I don't know what to do. He's like, son, I'm in a meeting right now. I can't really do shit about it. So I don't know where he at. He don't know where I'm at. When you go under the on the train, your phone lose signal. So then I don't have it till I come back up. Phone on 7% now, and I'm just walking the streets. It's dumb late. It's like 9, 10 o'clock until I just finally end up in Brooklyn. And then I seen... That's why paying attention to your surroundings is important.
Yes, sir.
Drake had that Sprite campaign, and he had a Sprite billboard that I would always see. And I'm walking around, and I seen the billboard.
That was your landmark.
And then at that point, I was like, I know where I'm at. I'm no longer lost. I didn't make mine, so I just followed that shit until I was like, this is my street, this is 68. Boom, I'm home now. Or another time where I felt lost, it was like a couple years ago. I had like $4,000 to my name, right? So I bought a car. 3 weeks later, the car was totaled. I ain't crashed this time. The car just... I fucked up the engine somehow. Oh, I think the nigga sold me some bullshit. So all my money gone. I just had left Holland asking my daddy for $137 to pay my phone bill. But now I got to use that $130 to call me a tow truck because I'm in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you stop somewhere.
Yeah. So I got to call Mark and them, the rest of the guys only. Yo, can y'all come get me? Spent the rest of my money. So I was fucking broke. Dead broke. The niggas had to cover rent for me for a second. And I felt like I hit rock bottom again. Or there were just times where I was just going downtown, getting drunk, feeling like I'm young. That's what we supposed to do. I'm living the life. But it's like, bro, I'm not following my fucking purpose. Yeah. What the hell is this? I'm coming down here.
At some point you woke up.
Yes. And I looked in the mirror and I had a stern talk with myself like, bro, the fuck is you doing? You know what I mean? Like sometimes niggas you really have to look in the mirror and like talk to yourself.
Is it Shadow? Was I talking about
Shadow?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what I play.
You know what's crazy? Before I got up here, I did one more run that I went through that album. Whew. Probably at this point, since you sent it to me, I probably went through that album like 9, 10 times. I didn't even know.
That's so like, beautiful.
Front to back, listen to it, start it, and let it play. Looking in the mirror, because understanding that it starts with yourself. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but at the team building event, y'all were over. I was sitting over there on the couch, and y'all were having a conversation about that. Because I think Nari said something, and you was like, "It starts with you," and it starts with looking in the mirror and understanding that people hate to hear this. At one point in my life, I hated to hear it. Mm-hmm. It starts with you. You are in your way because you are God. You are the manifester. You are the person that creates what your outcome is. Granted, you cannot control outside forces that try to stop you or interrupt you, but you do control your reaction to it. You control your mind. You control your emotions. And oftentimes we get so wrapped up in what it is versus coming back to ourselves to figure out, okay, how can I work through this?
Exactly.
And I feel like the project embodied that so beautifully because it's like you are literally being so transparent in this album, but also saying, but I am making it through because I decided to make a difference and I decided to make a change within myself. It always starts with self. You cannot wait on anybody to save you. You can't wait on nobody to fucking come and be like, I'm going to fix this for you. No, because it don't matter how many people are coming in to advocate you and to support you. At the end of the day, if that support left you tomorrow, what the fuck are you going to do?
Exactly.
You know, it's all within you. It's all within us. So I can appreciate the fact that you embodied that so beautifully and that when it comes down to your project and your album, the way you're doing things, you are telling an entire story of what your life has been like. And sometimes we only give snapshots of our life. It's just like social media. Yeah. We don't tell the bad shit that we're going through.
Instagram is just a highlight reel.
Yeah, we don't tell about, oh shit, I'm behind on my phone bill, my license got cut. We don't tell that shit, but let us buy a boat or a new car or whatever. We're promoting the good shit. But I think it's important for people to understand. I'm not saying put your whole business out, but I think it's important to understand, for other people to understand that you got here because you had to go through all this bullshit first. Exactly. And then you had to elevate to get there. You had to make different decisions. You had to do better. Mm-hmm. It always starts within you. You have to do better in order to get better. You have to make decisions. And looking in the mirror is the hardest thing to do because you have to tell yourself you are fucking up.
Hell yeah.
And this is what you need to do. And you have to accept that fuck up.
What? I'll tell you an embarrassing ass story. My girl is not going to appreciate this. Me and Doug went to 6th Street. And you know niggas, when they go to 6th Street, young niggas, yeah, bro, we going to get lit. We going to get some hoes, bring them back. We go to, what's that shit called? Fuck. I don't know. We went to one of them. Ended up back home with 2 girls that are nothing compared to my princess that I'm with now. And I'm going to put it that way. And I woke up.
First of all, you ain't finna say that like you just didn't say that. You went with 2 girls.
Oh, no, Dougie had one.
I'm saying you ain't just finna say that like I didn't just hear you say you went home with 2 girls. I did.
Dougie had one. I had
Okay.
And I woke up after she left, and I said, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You've been saying since you was 18, you a god. Or you trying to be this perfect person, because before Arissa was called still trying to be perfect. But I had that conversation with myself in the mirror. What the fuck is you doing, bro? You out here and you keep entertaining all of these distractions. Yeah. So when they're too afraid, they're scared to take the risk, or they don't know their purpose, they entertain their life with distractions. Oh yeah. So they drink constantly, or they abuse drugs, or they abuse women, not like mental.
But just utilize women as
that's
as
all
an
you
outlet.
Indulge in.
Yeah.
Like, a nigga don't know his purpose yet. I ain't gonna say a nigga ain't got a purpose. All of us on this planet got a purpose. You just gotta find it. But a nigga don't know his purpose yet. Trust me, he always entertaining a bitch because that's what a nigga think. You know what I mean? It's what make him feel. Yeah, I got a bitch. Or I got multiple bitches like that.
And whatever that feeling you get from having a woman, like,
and that's all temporary.
They fall into that. Yeah, it's
bro. Those are just
it's temporary. Yeah.
It's like chasing the dragon ass shit. I had that conversation. I'm sorry. No, you guys. With myself in the mirror, though, like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, really, like, but. That second time I hit the rock bottom after I totaled the car and I lost all my money. My job was crazy.
Is that the car accident you was telling us about?
Nah, that was actually an earlier car accident. But that accident... Okay, I've always wanted to tell this story.
I wanted you to tell that story today because I remember you coming in the group chat telling us like you were looking for a wrecked car to signify it as this point in your life. Yeah. But I never knew the story behind it. So now that we have this platform to tell that story, I would love to hear the story about like the wreck you got into and how it shaped your life experiences before and after that.
Okay, bet. It's when I realized, it's when everything changed, essentially. So this was me around the time I had my first apartment. I just moved to Austin. I felt lit, right? I left the house, got my crib, got the car. It's me and my brother Scotty. I just dropped this lady off I was talking to. We heading to the barber shop. We on 35. We on like on 6th Street, like on the west name. Like on the left is Wendy's, on the right is goddamn police station, like under us and shit on top of the bridge. And there's this big 4x4 in front of us, and then niggas just skirt hit their brakes and kind of swerve to the left. So we hit our brakes and we get to a point to where the 4x4 right here, I'm right here. We that close.
Yeah.
Mind you, we're listening to A$AP Rocky is one of my favorite artists. Ye and Rocky are my favorite artists of all time. I feel like that's kind of obvious. On Testing, there's a song called Changes. It goes, changes, I'm going through changes. Mm-hmm. That song is playing. That's my favorite song off that album. We get this close. Hit the brakes. I look at Scott. Damn, bro, we almost hit them. Before I can even turn my face back, boom, car behind us just runs right into us. So we smash into the 4x4. Keep it a buck. I told the police and everybody I had on the seatbelt. I did not have on the seatbelt. I don't even think I told my mama that. I didn't have on no seatbelt. I flew out the seat. I hit my head on the steering wheel. And from Scotty's point of view, I went unconscious. I fell in his lap. I get up. I'm like, shit, are you good? He goes, yeah, you good? I'm like, yeah. And then he looked that way and he goes, bro, the car's on fire. Car was on fire. Don't do that.
I'm doing that. Because this happened right now.
The car was on fire. So we hopped out through the passenger door because I'm on the edge. Like, I'm on the end of the bridge, right?
Right.
And we walking away from the car. There's a Charger flipped over. It just looked really like it did not look real. The Charger flipped over.
Was that the car that was behind you?
Nah. So
it's like in total, how many cars was it? Because you said it was the 4x4 in front of you.
It was a 4x4, my Jetta, the people that hit me, and the Charger. The Charger.
So it was a 4-car pileup, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. The Charger caused the whole accident. The Charger hit the car that hit me, flew over it, flipped over.
Oh shit.
My car.
That's kind of crazy because, like, how fast were you fucking going to flip over a couple of cars?
And that's what I'm saying. I think she was just trying to text and drive. Wasn't paying attention.
You know what's crazy too? Going back to what you said. You want to say you move too fast? Going too fast. Trying to do everything at the same time. Going too fast. Yeah. Not paying attention, but going too fast.
Yeah.
But that car wreck changed your life.
Yeah. So, like, from that shit, me and Scott had to go to therapy for, like, a couple months.
Physical therapy?
Yeah. I couldn't. I fucked up my tailbone real bad. So I couldn't. I still actually performed during that time. Don't tell nobody. Wasn't supposed to. I performed until we went to therapy a few days later. But yeah, that was just like. I lost my car. I was damn near through paying that off. So it was this big change in life. I was like, oh shit, the fuck we finna do? I'm carless. My grandpa let me use his car, but from that point on, it put me in a bad position money-wise. You gotta think. It just was a lot of reevaluating things for me. And then I got into more car accidents after that. Driving drunk, driving too... You know what I mean? Just a lot of shit at times. But the interesting thing about this whole story, right? Back to the Rocky reference. We were listening to a song called Changes. I got into that accident. I felt like my whole life changed. On that album, Testing, in that same song, there's a part where he goes... The beat switches, and he's like braggadocious rapping. He's like bragging and shit. And there's a part where he goes, "Oh, that's how you feel, nigga."
That's where that came from.
Yes. So I wanted to revamp that and use that because, okay, like I said earlier, I had a song called Garage Room, and the song I'm talking about essentially being so depressed I want to kill myself. I played that for my mom, and she after dinner she goes, "That's how you really feel." That was when I was 21 years old. Like I said, I'm 26 now, and I just held on to that. And then going through the accident when I was like 22 or 23, 22 when I went through the accident, to now I just kept that because the album is split into 2 parts. But I'm constantly, throughout the whole album, I'm asking, "Oh, that's how you feel?" And I'm asking, it's like someone asking me, but I'm asking the listener.
Have you ever asked yourself? Like, have you ever... Through your mistakes that you've made that has helped your growth, have you ever sat back and asked yourself, like, so that's how you feel? Because, like you always say, you're God body. So that's like yourself asking yourself, like, I'm this entity. I have, I've been healthy. I wake you up every day. I make sure you get to work. I make sure you get to do what you're doing. and then you put me in a position to wreck me. Is that how you feel? So have you ever asked yourself that question back then?
Yeah.
Like when you say you were drinking and driving and got into like a car accident or whatever, have you ever asked yourself that, like, damn, like, this is what I'm doing? Like, damn, that's how you feel about yourself? Like, yourself asking yourself that.
Damn, that's a great question. I've never, damn, that was good. I never asked myself that like that. But when I had that, when I had that talk with myself in the mirror that I have like all the time now, I talk to myself every morning. I talk to myself, period, all the time.
As you should.
Call me what the fuck you want.
As you should.
But I hold myself to what the fuck I say. So it's, you call yourself a guy, and I literally talk to myself like this. You call yourself a guy, right? So what the fuck is you doing? Like, and I had to tell myself like that ain't God shit, bro.
It ain't.
Or so now it's, you dedicated your life to taking the risk. You got risk tatted in the back of your head.
Okay, so tell me about that.
What are you afraid of?
Tell me about risk tat. I mean, I kind of got an idea, but I want the public to know as far as like who you are as a person and your project is concerned. What does risk mean for you? Like, what's your definition of risk?
I can give you to them because everything. A lot of what I do has always been an acronym. I don't think people really realize that risk is an acronym as well, but I'll just take you through my acronyms real quick. So me and Lucas started a group when we were younger called PGM. It's People Getting Money. From that, we had a project called OCGM, which was Operation Create Good Music. Or we had another project called Mute. So we had an album called Mute. It's silly, but it was called.
I don't think it's silly at all. It's how you. it's your storyline. Is what built you up into this.
It's called Music Unites True Excellence because it was me coming together with Lucas with this other dude. I don't really fuck with that nigga, but yeah, we all created the group called PGM, and the tape was called. So I just always fuck with acronyms. God is an acronym. God is gifted. Artist has a destiny.
I love that.
But before Risk was titled Risk, it was called Still Trying to Be Perfect. And the fear of being imperfect is called a telephobia. The fear of like not ever being good enough is called a telephobia.
A telephobia, okay.
Yeah, so I had a project called a telephobia. But I got so tired of my music just being so...
I ain't even gonna hold you. It sparked the painting in my head just now.
Really?
Yeah. A telephobia, now that I know that there's... that's
it's the fear of not being good enough.
Okay.
I had a project titled that. And I didn't want my whole career to be just this... I'm not good enough. No, nigga, you are good enough. You are God.
Exactly.
And there was a voice telling myself that until the second part of Risk, where it's obvious that I no longer give a fuck about what everyone else is saying. I need to listen to me. What am I saying? And trust and believe in myself. So even if it looks crazy. So Risk is, Rashawn is seriously crazy.
Wow. With the K. Because I noticed like even when you send stuff in the group chat, if it starts with a C, you replace it with a K. Yeah,
but that's because I'm from a blood neighborhood. But yeah, Risk is Rashawn is seriously crazy because I'm. Don't they say it's a thin line between genius and crazy?
Oh yeah, you have to be a different type of crazy to chase your dreams.
So I say it's a thin line between 51 and 50. 5150 is the
makes sense out of the song. Yes.
Yeah.
Man. It's crazy hearing your backstory. I don't think I was like truly mentally prepared for it, but it's so much light. There's darkness because we are both. We are light and dark. We are 100%. Up and down. We are north and south. We are east and west. We are all of these things. The way you embodied that we are those things in the project is very admirable because I don't think a lot of people realize that we aren't just one thing. And I think sometimes we get stuck in that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's our mentality. We get stuck in it because, like, say you say you're passionate in sports, but you are also very good at music, but your surroundings are saying, go be a football player, go do this, go do that. It's like, no,
that was my exact life.
Yeah, like, it's like, the mind too, like, oh, you know how to do so many different things. I'm like, no, I want to be a painter, I want to be an artist, you know? But it's like, taking the time out and spending the time with yourself to understand and know that we are a multifaceted entity in one physical body, because spirituality it's expansive. It's not just this one thing, it is multiple things.
The best thing you can do is explore yourself.
Exactly. And you are spirit, you are God, you are a living human entity that has human basic needs, that go through human basic shit. Like, and I think that in today's culture, we try to like snuff out the other shit to look perfect. But there is no such thing.
Really.
Wherever the definition came from is unrealistic, because nobody can attain that. No human living creature, because we are not born with the manual that says this is what you need to do. And I'm not gonna get biblical because I'm not like religious at all, but you know, the Bible has served as a guide to what you should do, but it's contradictory and it's unrealistic. You know, no shade to anybody who's religious, because I'm not saying that. I respect what anybody chooses to follow. I respect any beliefs that people have, but I think that we get so caught up in, like I say, even if you read the Bible from front to back to front, you start being like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and the minute you make a slight mistake, you question your entire reality, and that's not fair to yourself, because
at that point you giving somebody else control over
exactly. You're made up of so much more than what people are telling you should be.
100%.
And I appreciate you for being that as a person. You are a walking, breathing example of, I can be all of these things, and I can also be imperfect, but I can also tell a story, and I can also be talented, and I can also be a good person, and I can also have a good heart. You are showing proof that you can be so many different things, so many good things, and that you could have been so many bad things at a point in your life. We all have been bad. We all have been like, we all done shitty things, and we have been bad people in our lives. And not bad people, but like we've made fucked up mistakes in our lives that have affected other people.
Yeah.
So it's like you took a lot of accountability in your project, saying that, hey, I am the problem, because like you said, looking in the mirror, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? It comes from within. So realizing, like, you know what? I am the person who can make the change, and that's going to change literally everything around me. That's what we all need, which goes back to going to therapy, because people don't want to go to therapy, because I think people are afraid to be, therapy is nothing but a mirror.
Yeah, nobody want to look in that fucking mirror.
There's a mirror. They're going to ask you questions, and you're going to have to answer that from an honest place.
Hell yeah.
And a lot of people are not willing to be that honest with themselves. And that's going to keep them trapped in this, we call it the matrix. That's going to keep you trapped in the matrix, because you're not ready to confront that.
Nobody want to truly.
You're not able to confront your shadows, but you have to. If you want to get to the light, you got to confront your shadows first.
That's a fact. How you going to grow?
Exactly.
My pops told me in New York, you got to be uncomfortable. It's the only way you're going to grow. If you sit in your comfort zone. My pops told me, when you get your apartment, nigga, don't even get no bed. Just sleep on the couch, sleep on the floor. Because you get too, you get too comfortable. You get cozy and shit. If I'm Floyd Mayweather, I'm knocking niggas out, boom, boom. I got the belt. Ain't this what fucking happened with Adrian Broner? The nigga was, I'm him. Fuck is niggas talking about? Started slacking. Niggas came and took that belt from you.
Because you got comfortable.
You got comfortable.
You can't get comfortable.
How you gonna grow like that?
Yeah, you can't. And then people make a conscious choice to not grow, and then get mad that other people are passing it on. Why are you mad? You should take notes, because the person on the side of you decided, you know what? I don't really know what's on the other side of this door, but I'm gonna walk through that bitch, and I'm gonna figure it out once I get there.
Niggas' egos and pride.
Oh yeah, the ego, especially now, the ego is the downfall of every fucking thing, because if you don't realize that you walking, I don't give a fuck how good you are at anything.
Yep.
There's always room for improvement.
Hell yeah.
And there's always room to be better than what the fuck you were yesterday. The last month and the last year, people get to a certain place and they get, you know, they get their audience, they get their money. Now it's like, I'm gonna sit here. No, keep going.
Yeah. Because
that's gonna evolve you as a person. Fuck this outer shit. Fuck this this instant gratification. Fuck all that. That shit doesn't matter.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that. Every artist and instant gratification don't even go. What the fuck? That literally does not go together to me at all. But damn, I forgot what I wanted to say. Shit. Keep going, because you're sparking that shit.
I just think that with you, there's a different type of sound coming that is needed. Remember, I texted you, I said, this is needed. You know, these conversations are needed, these healing conversations, because we look at you. If somebody saw you on a regular, on the street, just a regular person or whatever, they wouldn't, you know, you don't know people from Adam. And then here you are as this person, and say you bumped into them, you had a conversation, now you giving them your Instagram, you giving them links to your music. Now they're like, fuck. Or even like, say you meet somebody and they don't know shit about you for like 3 months straight. And then you're like, well, shit, I fuck with you. You want to listen to my music? I want you to hear this. And they're like, fuck, Rashawn seemed like this person who had it all together. But meanwhile, you have had to go through some fucking barriers to get you where you are. People are so quick to try to skip over it. We talked about this in my first meeting with y'all.
Yeah.
Like, people are so quick to skip over the process because they don't want to go through what the process brings. The process brings strife. You ain't getting no sleep. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose relationships.
Yep.
It's not pretty.
Hey, yo, real quick. I'm not around any of those people I used to be around anymore.
Exactly.
There's no more Scotty. There's no more NASA. I love them. I ain't talking to them niggas I don't know how long. Gummy. I don't talk to Gummy
I
no
feel the
more.
same way. I have a similar experience, but it's
Yeah.
like, it's still all love because it's like, at the end of the day, no matter
We're all
who,
on our own path.
exactly. So no matter who comes in and out, no matter where you perform at, no matter where you paint at, whatever, these things are like, they're fleeting.
Yeah.
They're fleeting. So at the end of the day, it don't matter how high you are. When you go home at night, who you lay next to? Yourself. Even when you got somebody, when you wake up, you're in your own body.
You're the only one that's gonna be in that
exactly.
casket.
You're the only one. So it's imperative that on a therapist level, on a clinical level, on a spiritual level, that we always remember to come back to ourselves, because ultimately that is the person that's going to help us grow, not our friends, not our family. We are the ones that are going to help us grow, because it's a decision that we have to make within ourselves.
I would say Scotty, I want to shout out my bro real quick, because he was like one of the biggest influences for it. That was my brother. That is my brother. His whole shit is save yourself. Like, literally, it's like this logo with, like, think of the Superman logo, but it's like the S that you draw in school with the 3 lines.
Yeah.
It's like so far how he did it, but he has this project, and the whole time I got to, and I told Scott first, I was like, listen, I grew to a point where I was resenting my brothers because I knew I wasn't on my purpose. So until you blame yourself, until you look in the mirror, you blaming everything around you.
Exactly.
So I just started blaming my brothers more than I was blaming myself. So I told Scott, because Scott was in San Antonio. I was like, bro, give me 2 months. I'm going to be up out of here. I got to get my bread right. I got to get on my shit. And I love niggas, but I got to move away from niggas, because me and all the bros stayed together. And boom, I left. I went and stayed on Killer Cam's couch for like a month and a half. And the whole time, I'm just walking. I get up every morning, I walk, and I'm probably listening to Gene Dawson. If I wasn't, I'm listening to Scotty's album. And the whole album was literally just about... The story he told is how he's like a space traveler, and he gets up to like the moon and shit like that, and he's the only one up there, and he kind of has to like guide everyone up there. But he has this song, and the whole song he just like, save yourself, save yourself. And then throughout the album, that's like his whole message. And I'm just like, my brother's speaking to me right now.
Yeah.
And I literally took in everything he said, because yes, you gotta be God. You gotta be God for yourself. You can pray all day. If you don't do nothing, ain't nothing gonna happen. You have to say,
like they
yourself.
Say, prayer is nothing without movement. Or how they say, nothing moves until you do.
Yeah. Or I say, you gotta be the change you want to see.
Exactly. It all starts from within. I love how you promote that, because like I said, it's we see it as far as like quotes. We may see it, through spiritual people pages, but we need it in music, because music is a nationwide thing. There's nobody on this earth that don't listen to music.
Music is frequency programming.
Exactly. Like 432 AZ, like we listen to that. We know it's a high vibrational frequency that
the whole album, the one that I sent to you is not that, but the whole album when I release it is gonna be 432 hertz. Like I made sure it's at that frequency. I already. The last conversation, one of the last big conversations I had with NASA was telling him months ago, "Hey, bro, I'm really studying frequencies and shit like that, because I want." The album is kind of more so told through perception, but it's my life story. So I wanted it to be a healing experience for people. I made Risk essentially for my younger brother, who's in Killeen right now, who like has some of my family worried, and they might not appreciate me talking about this, but I love you, Lo. I love you more than anything. I call my brother Elo. I've always called him Elo, and then like me becoming more enlightened or more just conscious and shit. I switched it back to Elohim. I'm basically telling my brother, you a God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But my brothers, I just seen my brother falling down the same path I was falling down. Like he ain't clean, get mixed up with niggas gang banging, smoking, drinking, holding on to pistols and shit. And I know everything I was doing, a lot of shit that I don't even tell my mama about. But he up there with my mom to the point where it's like, it's just, I don't want nothing to happen to my brother.
Course.
And nothing will happen to my brother. But
we speaking that into existence.
Yeah,
It's gonna always be covered.
I gotta be the change that I want to see.
Yeah.
So I had
because
to change
especially
and get my
since
shit right.
He's seen you when you were making probably the worst decisions for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then him seeing you rise above that and be
Mm-hmm.
better than the decisions that you made. That's important because, like we talked about earlier, perception is everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes people get caught up in it. They think in the back of their mind, sometimes they're like, "I want to get out," but then they think there is no way out.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone close to them, they see like, "Oh, they're getting out," then that can literally change the trajectory of someone's entire life and their story and what they want to do moving forward. So
I'm sorry.
I think that you saying like, you know, I'm doing this for my brother or whatever, I think that's a notable thing because like he needs it and you're dedicating this to him. Like, look, I hear you, I see you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not judging you because I've been there before.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, I've been there before myself, but let's do better. You know, just because you want to see the best for him.
I'm about to say the problem with us young niggas is and that goes back to the cycle, the trauma cycle that risk is ultimately about that we all need to break free from. And it's pops ain't there, so you got to find your own guidance. And 9 times out of 10, that's niggas falling into the street life, you falling around because your gang or your bros, that's what you feel like got you, right? So then you kind of live this life of all this negativity to cover up for all that pain and trauma you feel. So you start smoking at this young ass age because, oh, that's what all the bros are doing and they cool. This is cool. We want to be
not
cool.
Understanding that you're suppressing what you're going through.
Man, we want to be cool and accepted so fucking bad. All I wanted to do in Holland was be cool and accepted because it seemed like everyone had an issue with me. Just trying to be 100% me. But then you start to realize everyone is just trying to be cool and accepted. So a lot of people don't even accept themselves.
Exactly.
It's just, you're not with the crowd.
Understanding that's the coolest shit. When you accept yourself and you walk out the house and you look like you.
Coolest
that
shit.
is the coolest shit you could ever do because it's so hard for people to do it. People think cool is looking like everybody else. No, it's not. It's breaking apart from that and saying, this is what I'm going to wear out the house. This is my mentality. This is how I'm going to speak to people. That's cool as fuck. I feel like if I could look at a person, I saw you from the gate like, that nigga different. You know what I'm saying? I thought that like, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's extremely cool because it, especially when it comes to like your parents, right? Close. I'm speaking to you and I didn't say a word. Like we go back to like I don't even talk, right?
You have a presence. That's what I say. You have a presence that commands a room. So when you walk in, people know really him, Rashawn. He walked in without you even saying anything, without you being like, "Hey, I'm really him, Rickers. I'm Rashawn. I'm this. I'm that." Like you don't have to do that because when you walk in from top to bottom and just your energetic aura, it speaks volumes for everybody who knows you or people who don't know you, and going into how that can intimidate people because it sparks an insecurity within themselves because they look at, oh, that nigga weird. No. Who are you?
That's weird.
He knows
weird
who
is.
I was
about to say weird is only someone who
knows who they are.
Someone who doesn't follow the usual programming.
Yes.
The system. Man, fuck out of here with all that shit, bro.
It's like you said, it's a programming. It's a fucking. This is what you should do. This is what you should look like to be cool. What?
Go look at Instagram now. That shit is all a fucking loop.
It's a shit show.
It's just a loop of everybody doing the same thing, saying they doing something different. It's so lame. That's why I got off this shit.
Yeah.
That's why I gotta go. I think the illest thing to do sometimes is get off the internet.
How has that break been for you though? What first? How long have you been off Instagram, and how has that break been for you?
I was slightly doing it, so like I would be on for like a week, and then I get off for like 3 days, and so but I was like, I know what, I'm stopping drinking, so I'm gonna get off the internet too. And then, like, my next project is going to be called Get Off the Internet because Risk is about the trauma matrix. Get Off the Internet is specifically speak about unplugging from the matrix of the world we're in. Risk is specifically about the trauma of family and shit like you deal with from your parents or close people around you, right? But it's been beautiful. You
just sparked another pain saying that too. Got a whole other pain in my head. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Because like I'm hearing you, and I have the same thoughts about a lot of shit, especially the Matrix thing. I think I showed you my the Game Boy piece. Yeah. Like how life is a game. It's essentially a game. It is a fucking game that you 100%. Keep playing. And there's this person climbing the fuck out of the Game Boy, and I made the background. I made it like my background, but I made it green like the Matrix, like how the shit goes down the Matrix. and this person is climbing out because, and then his foot is on, I think, the red button, I think, but like choosing to be like, I'm not gonna play this game no more. I'm getting the fuck out because I need to free myself.
Hell yeah. Literally, that is the original first episode of first installment, whatever you want to call it, of the Really Him Radio. It's the title.
I'm gonna gift you a print of that. I'm gonna gift you a print.
Oh, please! I hope you do. One thing I wanted to say specifically, speaking on the trauma matrix and the that we're helping all these young, beautiful black, whatever, beautiful artists, people get out of. One of the songs on the album. Still Trying to Be Perfect, which was the original title before Risk. At the end of that, that's my brother.
Wow.
That's my brother. The same brother I'm talking about. And so my whole point was the beginning of the story, I gotta have my ego death. And I'm very apologetic and I'm sorry because I wasn't this person I needed to be for y'all. And then it gets to a point where I go, boys don't cry, right? Like I'm good. Boys Don't Cry is basically saying, I'm good. I'm fine. And then, Still Trying to Be Perfect is me. You recognize, oh, I'm lit now. Right? Because the whole song is kind of me just bragging. It's, I got 2 more racks on me and I'm all you want to be. That's a Fight Club reference, or a Tyler Durden. So if you ever seen Fight Club, the risk kind of, you would understand. It's like you battling your shadow, right? So, but at the end of that song, he's basically saying like, damn, you good now, but what about us? We still stuck in this matrix now. So you broke out, and that's what I meant by it's a cycle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My pops wasn't there, and then I spent like my whole life, kind of how I said, and traumatized, trying to, searching for this acceptance from my pops, and then end up breaking up my family because now I wasn't the man, a big brother I needed to be for my younger brother. And it's like, fuck.
Can I ask you something? Go back to something you said.
You can ask me everything.
With the Boys Don't Cry thing. So, I come from a family that is predominantly male. Mm-hmm. And the way that they maneuver through life, there is very, very, very little emotion. It's more speaking and action, but it's very little, I don't know how you feel. Mm-hmm. Will you say that you've broken out of the point where, like, you feel like as a man, oh, I can't cry, I can't have emotions. Do you feel like you've broken out of that?
I'd say I give myself like a yes and no. Yes, because I'm always saying exactly how I feel. I say that's probably why you don't see me around many people too much. I'm always say how I feel because it's how the fuck I feel. I will say there's points now in my relationship now with my princess. It's like I'm very stern and I'm, you know what I mean? I gotta be that. But then there's points where it's like, she's like, you don't have to be that.
Because
I know who you are and I accept that. But I think it's still just part of,
I think it's part of like being a black man in general.
Hell yeah. When we go out into the world, we gotta,
what was that have shit? This mask.
You gotta put the mask on. I gotta speak higher like this with my voice.
You have to put a specific armor on.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Like I'm terrified, but I gotta look like I'm not a threat to you.
Right.
The fuck?
Which is ridiculous because, like, and probably in the middle of my pain career, I started, like, doing paintings catered to black men because I hate the stigma. And I think I wanted to, like, dive into it more then because of me coming from a family of predominantly black males and seeing how I've never seen them speak up about anything. So I can only imagine now, years way later, what they feel and what they're going through, how much they've harbored. If there's anything you could say to like black men in general, as an artist, as an entity, as a person, as a spiritual being, what is it that you would say to black men from your experience as far as like tapping into your emotions and being vulnerable with who you are?
Every answer you need is in the mirror. But you can't be afraid to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Do you encourage more black men to tap into their emotions and be open with those emotions?
I think that's 100% what niggas need to do. So we think everything is... Because that goes back to trying to fit in. Mm-hmm. We've been sold this idea of shit being gangster and cool and tough. And I admit this. When I was in New York, my pops told me I was too emotional. And that broke my heart. And I say that in Traumatized. The nigga told me I wasn't a man. And that broke my fucking heart. Because I spent, to this day, what did he mean by that?
Right.
How am I not a man? I'm taking care of my shit. I'm doing what the fuck I need.
But it goes back to the ideology that was taught to him of what a man is.
But what the fuck is that?
Right. Because nobody says, it's always broken down into constructs. That's not ladylike. Yeah. Or you being soft right now. You a man. You ain't supposed to do that.
Nah.
But where is the construct for the human experience? How to be just human. Not tied into your gender and what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. There is no construct of like what being a human is. And going back to your project, I feel like it embodies that. Like it says, I'm not this man or I'm not this, I am a human having a human experience. I'm a spiritual being, but I have fucked up and I've made mistakes. And this is the result of it. And now I'm deciding, hey, I'm going to go this way with it because I see the impact that it's had on my life in a negative way. And I don't want that for myself anymore. And I think that being able to identify yourself outside of your gender and what people think you should be is very important to your growth and how you show up in the world and how you ultimately will look in the mirror and how you talk to yourself. Because if you think you're this one thing, you're just a man and you got to be macho and that's it, no emotions and that's it, that is going to project on many people and that is going to have a ripple effect into the people that you meet, into the world, and these people now have to heal from. Yes, the cycle continues because now these people are healing from your mindset. They're healing from your mindset and how you was raised. So you're breaking a cycle with this project. You're not only healing, you're breaking a huge cycle, a very huge cycle. It's amazing that it comes from a black man because black men are the biggest entity of people who are told you cannot feel anything. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. You have to be this. You got to take care of everything. Fuck that. You are a human. Every human has basic human needs. You have to cry. You have to fucking go and take a fucking breather sometimes. You have to sleep. You have to eat. You have to take care of yourself before you take care of anybody. They always say the black man is the head of the home, or men in general are the head of the home. But what good is that if they are not taking care of themselves? It doesn't mean anything because it's not going to go the way it should because this person is broken and now trying to build an empire off his brokenness. And I think that's really unfair. That's why I can appreciate artists like you coming out and saying, like, we're breaking the mold. We're doing something different. We're not tapping into those old school ideologies. We're tapping into something new. And this new age way of thinking means catering to yourself, looking in the mirror, taking accountability, and choosing a different route. Nobody is saying, like, oh, you have to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. That's part of your growth. Accept those mistakes. Don't use them as a means to tear yourself down, but use them as a means to grow and do better. Exactly.
You're not your mistakes.
Yeah, you're not your past. Yeah, you're not your flaws. Yeah. You're not what the world perceives you to be. You are you. When you go home and you're by yourself, you're stripped down naked, that is who you are.
Okay, I want to talk about this. We're born into an identity that's not us.
Exactly.
We're born. You don't choose your name. Mm-mm. You didn't choose to be born.
You didn't ask for a social security number.
You kind of live up to this idea
that wasn't yours to begin with.
Yeah.
I read it's a book called You Are a Badass. In that, like the first couple of chapters, the author talks about how a lot of the problems that we deal with come from things that we've harbored that don't even belong to us. Yeah, so when we're a kid, they teach us, you walk and you do this and you say this and you say that. But also the way our upbringings put these certain ideas into our heads, we think that's how we're supposed to live.
All the programming.
Yes, it's programmed from the beginning. That's why I really like parents who are like more spiritual and kind of they teach their kids, but they're like, I'm not putting you in a school. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's more free because it gives your child a sense of like self. Versus, I have to be like all of these people. Like uniforms. What do we do when we in grammar school? We wear a uniform. We wear a uniform. We look alike. Even in the military, you wear a uniform. When you go to work, what do? You wear a uniform. You have to be like everybody else. Everybody has to look the same.
You got to represent another man's idea.
Exactly. Of what you should be.
What's your idea?
Yeah. And I appreciate you breaking down that barrier. I'm so excited for everything you come up with next because this... Like I said, I listened to the album probably 10 times at this point.
You like the second half? Yeah. Like the more aggressive half that I know.
I love the entire fucking project. When I say I love all of it because it shows that you are not just this one thing. It shows every different part of yourself. And any part of yourself you didn't put in the album, I'm sure is going to come out later on because you're going to grow into something else anyway. But like, all these different parts of you show up in this project. All of it. And I am so happy that you decided, like, I'm not just gonna put this project out and I'm just gonna tell this story one way. You told it from the full spectrum, like, yes, I fucked up. Yes, I had to look in the mirror. And you're telling people that you're giving the message out that it starts with you.
Yeah.
That's
my main
the best
thing
message.
was perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to know something? You can play it backwards. Start with the world is yours.
Okay.
And then you'll end at ego death.
Okay.
Because from that perspective, it's the arrogant, egotistical nigga that needs to, all right, bro, we need to bring you down a few notches. You don't know it all like you think you do. And you got broken down, and then it ends you at where you're hitting your rock bottoms, like I said. So you can go about it either way. It's perspective. It's broken up into your Mr. Smith type portion, which is the I'm sympathetic, I'm sorry, I wasn't the man I need to be for you, to your spaz person. And I don't give a fuck who I need to be for you. I'm who I need to be for me.
Yeah.
And that's spaz. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking love it, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
That's why, like, one of my favorite songs is 5150. 5150.
I love 5150.
And I know from the people who've heard it, like, as far as Paradox and God's Only Niggas, niggas love My Beautiful Dark Twist Fantasy. Or that's JPG, not ABC. That one.
Okay, so that first part of the song, what does that part mean?
It's JPG, not APC.
Yeah.
JPG and APC are two high level fashion brands. So JPG is Jean Paul Gaultier, and APC is. I'm not gonna lie, I can't. It's something clothing. Okay. But when you see APC pieces. They're very much like, they look normal. APC looks like Gap. APC looks like Old Navy. It looks kind of uniformish and regular.
It's I don't know the name of the video. I don't know. I don't know the name of the video, but you got the shorts on with the suit and tie and shit. That's what it made me think of. Like, you in a living room and then you start like, like walking. Yeah, you kind of like, I fucking love that fucking video, and that's what it reminds me of. Fucking, I love My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's probably. That's the hype shit. Like, I didn't even hold you earlier when I was getting ready. I said, I need something to wake me the fuck up because I didn't sleep last night. I turned that shit on. I'm like, in the crib, like, hell yeah, all right, we in it. All right, we ready.
My whole point with that basically was saying this JPG, not APC, because JPG pieces are very avant-garde and gaudy. Not gaudy, how I say it, but like how braggadocious and loud type gaudy. That's JPG. So I'm basically just trying to establish I'm different. Yeah. So that's why I start my verse with, this mask I got on is Rick Owens. That mask all y'all got on is for COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Sean, it has been a fucking pleasure, a fucking honor, everything to just sit here and dissect this project with you, because I remember just like hearing the first couple of songs. Didn't even know you were working on the project because I was new to Paradox. So to hear those things and to see like now down the line, 3-4 months down the line, like, oh shit, this is a story that he's telling. Yeah. I appreciate you sharing it with me because remember I was on your ass. I'm like, Sean, where your music at? And Ray was like, he ain't gonna share that shit with you. I'm like, fuck. Listen. And I asked you again, I'm like, Sean, where the music at? You was like, it's coming. But I had to understand that you were working on something bigger, and between the rooms, the way you're about to like do your listening party, the rave. Also, I want you to like let everybody know. I mean, I'm pretty sure your people know now, but while we're here recording, let them know like what's the timeline of everything dropping between the rave show, the release, everything. Like, drop those dates for us real quick.
Coming up soon, we have Boys Don't Cry, which will be the first single for Risk. That's gonna be the leading single. Just to drop something different, right? Because I think at this point people will probably expect me to jump out the gate with it's JPG, not APC.
I definitely
like did. It's on. It would be on trend. It would be with what's going on right now. But I think Boys Don't Cry speaks more volumes. You know what I mean? I think it leaves more to the imagination as well. You're like, hold on, where are you trying to go with it? You know what I'm saying? So we got Boys Don't Cry releasing. From that we're gonna have the Risk Rave, because I've always stated that. Life is a mosh pit. So me doing the Risk Rave, which eventually will turn into Really Him Raves, which is like just a portion or a branch of the Really Him Records whole concept, structure, whatever you like to call it, ideology, mindset, energy, DNA, world. Really, Him Records is everything. But we're gonna do the Risk Rave, which is basically, okay, you know how Kanye had the live listening down the parties at the stadium? I was just like, my whole thing is I don't ever look at people around me. So I'm gonna be completely honest. No disrespect to all like my friends and shit, but I don't pay attention to what y'all do. We're all in the same boat for the most part.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my favorite artists, and I'm gonna create something that's on that level or better.
Yeah.
If not, we're not doing it.
Yeah, it's like a blueprint for you to do something, to be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, but better.
Yeah. I told Lucas Lee, I'm finna blow that Donda listening party out the window, out the water. So the Risk Rave is that, and that's gonna continue to grow on.
And drop that date so people can know.
Oh, the Risk Rave is March 4th. March 4th. Yeah. And then we're gonna have the official project release March 10th.
Yes,
so
sir.
Risk officially drops the whole project, which encompasses the album.
And let people know where it's going to be at.
We're having a release party here at Paradox Studios at the motherfucking, you know what I mean, the headquarters, nigga.
Yes,
the docks.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Everyone come, please. You get to experience the artwork, the clothes, the paintings, the magazines, the pens, the film. This is more than just an album. I'm more than just a rapper. I am an architect.
Yes. Thank you so much, Rashawn. This was an absolute pleasure. Like, thank you so much for letting me dissect your mind.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being transparent about everything that's going on, like, as far as where your life was, where it ended up, where it's headed.
Hell yeah.
And we all are, like, super excited. You have a very huge backing from Paradox, ready to get this out for you, ready to fucking listen, ready to bring these people in. So shit, till next time. But also let people know what's cool. Let them know what's cool.
Therapy is cool.
Therapy is motherfucking
Therapy is
cool.
really motherfucking cool. Don't end it. We're gonna end this shit on The World Is Yours. I need every young god, every young goddess out there in this world to know, just free your mind, unprogram your mind, deprogram, reprogram. Know that you're really him. That's a programming we need to move under. You're definitely really him. You are God. The world is yours.
Most definitely.
Take the risk. Let's go. Goddamn it. And thank you so much, Ricky. I love you so much.
Thank you. I love you too, Sean. Thank you.
This feels like never
become one of them old coulda, woulda, shoulda ass niggas. Gonna be burnt out, niggas. So take the fucking risk.
Okay.
It's really in radio.
Yes. And